Have you ever wondered why it is truly? You can feel it's far tougher to move for round 2. It's back up and running, and today we're going to talk about the sexual. In case you're new here, the refractory period. Every Monday, I create urologic content material. Friday on bladder fitness and sexual fitness. And a lot extra if you want what you notice. So please subscribe, and leave a comment. This video has my approval. With a view to understanding what occurs after ejaculation, you want to understand what happens before it or the sexual encounter. This response cycle evolved as a result of the use of. It also has 4 primary steps. The first degree is ecstasy for the duration of this level of your coronary heart. The charge is going up, and you start breathing quicker. Your muscular tissues start to clench up and your blood waft starts offevolving going to the genitals. Then you definitely attain the plateau segment at that. Your muscular tissues are still anxious about this factor. For guys or human beings with a penis, you will notice that your testicles start pulling girls or women up towards your penis. You can see the vulva proprietors. The clitoris retracts below the clitoral hood. Then you definitely orgasm your muscle groups. In the end, contract and launch, and all the frames get flushed and pink. And in guys, especially the pelvic floor. These muscles help you expel semen or have. Your body also reacts to ejaculation. The fee of your heart will be exchanged physically. Your blood strain in addition to your muscle settlement, and all of this results in a sense of pride and leisure. Then we reach resolution. This is while your physiological parameters, as well as your blood. The pressure and heart charge begin to normalize your butt muscle tissue and start to relax you, and you become much less conscious of that. This is referred to as sexual stimulation. That is a sexual refractory period in men. Known as the post-ejaculatory. In an effort to start off, you really want to understand the difference between orgasm and ejaculation. Orgasm is technically suited to centers in your brain. Ejaculation occurs at some point in the spinal ejaculatory center. There are separate stages. There's emission whilst the semen gets released from the seminal vesicles and prostate into the posterior urethra, and then discharge while the urethral sphincter contracts the pelvic floor. As muscle mass relaxes, allowing that fluid to, well, what precisely is it? What takes place in the course of this refractory period? It could be very hard to get an erection. It may be tough to get an orgasm ejaculate. It's extremely difficult to elicit arousal in this situation. This can be due to physiologic modifications wherein your frame will definitely no longer allow ejaculation or stimulation, whereas a psychological type, while you're simply too worn out to head once more, and once they look at this specific refractory time, you may calculate absolutely the fee for this. Refractory time, or a time period, in which nothing goes to get you inspired in any manner, and a relative. Refractory duration, and at this point, I can get inspired, but it's going to require a much stronger stimulus or a totally novel stimulus. However, they communicate about this plenty. In guys, but does it happen in girls? As I pointed out in my video, it's about girl anatomy in the G-spot. See, clitoris is homologous or identical to the penis in terms of development and has the same type of apprehensive shape. So they conducted research on the anatomical structure of the pinnacle of the penis, or the glans penis, and if you can consider that if the shaft of the penis gets sensitive after having sex. They polled over 100 people and asked how frequently they got clitoral. How regularly did they lack sensitivity? I needed more clitoral stimulation after my sex changed, and they discovered that the vast majority of the 96 girls did as well. Sensitivity after intercourse, so very possibly. Girls are also experiencing a few sexually refractory durations, even though it's much less common. The refractory duration is regularly discussed. It varies because of loads of different factors. However, young men usually have a short refractory period, sometimes only a few hours, whereas older men can have it for years. It usually lasts 12 to 24 hours, but for some humans, it can last even longer. Greater than that, what do the statistics say? In more than one study, they discovered that charges for younger, healthy men ranged between 11 minutes and 1. However, an exciting finding in a study. wherein they checked out people who were recognized as untimely ejaculators or people that ejaculated earlier than they felt ready. They found that their refractory time was dramatically longer, with a median of. Why, in particular, could our bodies have this precise shielding mechanism in this region glaringly? There needs to be a scientific motive in the back of it. The reason that humans suppose this to be an ejaculatory refractory duration may additionally arise. This is due to the fact that once you've expelled all the sperm out of your body, it takes time for the one sperm to top off the complete. The purpose evolutionarily of intercourse is to hold on to procreate your species after ejaculation. Your sperm shops are completely depleted. It takes some time to copy the items fully. And they repeat at a charge of about 12.5. However, 1 million steps per hour would not suffice. However, that is precisely the point. One of the reasons this takes place. Every other reason that humans presume this. It can exist because it's to keep away from displacement or movement of the sperm you have already ejaculated, so in case you go ahead and have intercourse a second time, the thrusting of the penis may also sincerely displace the semen you've got simply ejaculated with, of course, semen that may have very low sperm counts, and the very last purpose is that it may be used as a protective mechanism to avoid human beings getting fatigued or exhausted from. So, what goes on in our bodies? To be honest, we are still. I didn't know there had been numerous unique research which has checked out viable causes for the anxious machine device and the real conduction through it. The nerves as well as the penis one-of-a-kind hormonal pathways become. It is believed that an accelerated stage of this sexual disorder was due to prolactin. Refractory length because there had been a few small studies that confirmed that men were capable of having more than one orgasm. However, they had very low ranges of prolactin. This has later been debunked in different animal research. It is also a concept that having a growth in dopamine in the frame can lower the refractory length. It matters that growth serotonin can definitely increase the refractory length. Studies which have checked out the outcomes of sildenafil or Viagra publish ejaculatory refractory instances, and what they observed is that they did see a small distinction among those who took sildenafil in one-of-a-kind doses on this occasion. At that point, they simply had the subjects or contributors time themselves using a stopwatch, and they found that the published ejaculatory refractory time turned into minutes without receiving sildenafil. It went down to 2 minutes. Any other examples became sildenafil, which became available in 2000. A 2003 study looked into the same topic. However, with a 25 mg dose and additionally, I found a mild difference. So there are a lot of various recommendations online, and this sort of is due to the fact that many people, in the event that they orgasm in public, ejaculate, they then don't get that sexual refractory length, so quite a few the discussion behind looking to put off ejaculation but persevering with having orgasms has doubtlessly helped. However, for some human beings, this can be extraordinarily hard. So if that is worrying and very frustrating, please don't strive once more if it is now not for you. If it's bringing you a variety of cash, it's probably worth it. Pressure or tension into the bedroom or about your sexuality. Others have suggested comparable results. Having multiple orgasms while on certain psychotropic medications, and I'm also looking to include some novelty. Either with intercourse toys or extraordinary companions, if that's what you're into. Helped less in this era. Finally, it is due to more than one orgasm in men. I mean, we certainly pay attention to it all the time in ladies, but what about men? Do guys sincerely get more than one orgasm? Basically, more youthful men between the a while of 20 to 30 according to estimates, approximately 8 to 9% of men have multiple orgasms. However, when the entire age demographic of men is considered, the fee drops anywhere from 3 to 7%, so it is incredibly rare. This has occurred in a variety of ways. It is suggested that some people record having ordinary ejaculation accompanied by many dry orgasms, after which others may report having a couple of orgasms or a burst of orgasms. So, with the aid of an ejaculation right on the give up. The take-home from this video is that everybody has a sexual refractory duration length, and that duration can range significantly, possibly in younger men. It is able to be shorter, and as you age, it does recede longer. Even as there are lots of hints in public forums and other matters, only a few matters have been studied in the scientific literature. So I'm hoping you locate. Is this useful? As always, do not forget to take care of yourself because you're well worth it.